So our opening keynote speaker is a very dear friend, and he is Ralph Simon, CEO of Mobilium Global Group, United Kingdom. Welcome, Ralph, to the Leaders in Islamabad Business Summit, and greetings from Islamabad, the beautiful capital of the world.
Adam,
Thank you.
Sab kaise hai? Everybody, what a fantastic privilege to be with you in Islamabad.
We all are
And
very good. And we will love to host you very soon in Islamabad, physically as well. But thanks to digital mediums, and we are engaging the global audience here right now. And we will host you next year in Pakistan physically during
Inshallah,
the
it will be
Islamabad Business
wonderful.
Summit. So Ralph is a very dear friend of mine, and he is also the advisory board member of Nutshell Conferences Group. He always supported us, guided us in different avenues, in different projects. And first time we met in Russia in 2018, and since then we became very good friends. He's a global leader. And Rabia, please share his profile, read his profile, and introduce him to the global audience.
It's an honor to be reading your profile. I was just going through it myself, and I'm humbled. Ralph Simon has enjoyed a spectacular 30-plus year career in a variety of prominent fields, ranging from mobile, smartphone technology, social media and entertainment, commerce and content, experiential medicine and personalized health. He foresaw the potential of mobile devices and technologies and its impact very early on in the mobile transformation of the world. Respected internationally, he is known as a distinguished moderator and interviewer around the world at major tech conferences, including the Mobile World Congress keynote stage. He's consistently been at the forefront of mobile media innovation, mobile learning and media, social media, trends, and next stage artificial intelligence and machine learning, while engaging with a variety of global digital, political, and business leaders and global creators. Ralph is one of the founders of the global mobile entertainment and mobile social media industry, a visionary and a consistent innovator, popularly known as the father of the ringtone. His relentless curiosity and search for the world's smartest new mobile and wireless media innovation, creative VR, AI, etc. He is consistently developing new technologies to enhance business and commerce, and also personalized health, medical care, and media and entertainment content. One such development area is the creation of lifelike hologram technologies that allow for the creation of live performances by famous personalities like Mohammad Rafi, Whitney Houston, and legendary cricketers as well. Simon also serves on the as the executive board member and global juror for the World Summit Awards in association with the United Nations. He is special advisor to the GSM Association, who organized the Mobile World Congress conventions in Barcelona, Shanghai, and LA. He's also responsible for programming some of the world's most important startup and future tech gatherings worldwide. He's worked with co-founder of Global Moonshot for Education, with legendary Silicon Valley educators, the international Cool Hunters. He's based in London, but most of the time he's on a plane traveling to somewhere, and we're very lucky to have him stationary today with us. Welcome, Ralph. It's an honor to be introduced to you, and we look forward to a very engaging session today.
And his topic for his talk is what's coming next. And this is all about the future. And Ralph is the keynote speaker for inaugural session of second day. Ralph, over to you now.
Thank you very much for your introduction. And Mohammed, what a pleasure to be with you. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody, this is a real treat. It is my dream to come to Islamabad. And what is interesting is with Pakistan being the world's 5th most populous country, some have said that it's been a little bit slow to adapt to the internet economy. It's trailed in the region in the adoption of technology, but things are changing. With 220 million people, almost 2/3 of whom are under the age of 30, Pakistan draws a lot of comparisons with Indonesia which has rapidly emerged as one of the most vibrant technology ecosystems outside the US. So, after years of lagging behind over the last 18 months, I'm happy to say Pakistan's technology ecosystem has come to life in an unprecedented way in 2021. There are more on track to raise more money than previous 5 years combined. So, Agli, let's go next to the next slide, please. Can we pull up the slide? Okay, so we'll just, there we are. Leaders in Islamabad, that's what you all are. And what's coming next? I thought I'd show you some hot new trends to think about so that you can just see some of the stuff that is happening in the wake of everybody getting back to business and making Pakistan transform into a knowledge-based economy with 65% of your population between 15 and 40 years old, and a growth on the internet of 23% on a year-on-year basis. We know that digital Pakistan vision, the important vision of Prime Minister Imran Khan, is really going to be doing something. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so here's an interesting one. Obviously, 2021, we're coming out of COVID globally. 85% of people across the US, UK, and China are prepared to rethink the way they live. Same in Pakistan. 70% are prepared to make dramatic changes to their lifestyle because it will also help tackle climate change, one of the biggest problems in our world. And of course, Pakistan knows all about that with the floods and the droughts, and we really have a lot that we can do, and technology plays a great role. Let's go to the next slide. So 95% of consumers across 19 countries have said that after COVID, they want to build back better, and they've made at least one permanent change in their lifestyles since the outbreak of the pandemic. Have you thought of making a change in your lifestyle, those of you that are in Islamabad or around the world? So let's go to the next slide. So employees feel that mental health and well-being are less of a priority on their organizations. Interesting, less than during COVID. But 60% of business owners say that well-being and good health is a priority. I'm sure that everybody in Pakistan shares that view. Agli, next, please. So 54% of consumers want to buy from companies that prioritize inclusion, diversity, and equity in communities and workplaces. And 63% of people around the world in the major tech economies are saying that they want to buy from companies that are socially responsible. Social responsibility, that's a big theme, and also a big theme this week in New York at the General Assembly of the United Nations. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'm going to show you some interesting examples and some trends. Here's an interesting one for the product called Dettol. I'm sure many of you know Dettol. With coronavirus disrupting religious practices globally, Dettol provided Muslims with a safe space in mosques. The social distancing prayer mat, that's a special social distancing prayer mat, is an adaptation of the traditional mat or janimaz that measures 180 centimeters wide compared to the traditional janimaz of 70 centimeters. This mat is printed on sustainable, cost-efficient, and non-tearable paper and was distributed in Pakistan during Eid al-Adha in July this year, and an inscription in Urdu on the mat reads the following: "The decision to maintain this distance is one of safety." Who would have thought Dettol would be able to do something that could make daily prayers a much, much more healthy and agreeable thing? Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, diamonds are forever. Rabia, I don't know if those are your diamonds, but here's an interesting picture because diamonds can now be grown in a lab. You don't have to dig down in the ground for them. Earlier this year, Denmark, a Danish jeweler called Pandora, announced plans to switch from mining diamonds to growing stones in a laboratory. Prices for the Pandora Brilliance collection will start at around £250, $300. And in April, Diamond Foundry, which is a producer of laboratory-grown diamonds, was valued at nearly $2 billion. Who would have thought that you can grow diamonds in a laboratory? Okay, let's go to the next trend. Here's one, Telenor Pakistan, important telco in Pakistan. An estimated 60 million Pakistanis are unregistered, meaning that they're unable to gain access to services like healthcare, and in an attempt to reduce inequalities derived from this and to ease the process of registering, Telenor Pakistan introduced an Android mobile app to replace the outdated paper registration process. The app was launched a couple of years ago, and the campaign went live, resulting in a 300% increase in birth registrations and 1.2 million adult registrations. The project aims to expand registration calls to villages, union councils, and here's the important thing about Pakistan and Pakistan technology. At the June 2021 Cannes Lions Award for Best Advertising in the World, Telenor Pakistan won a Gold Lion for the Sustainable Development Goals category of the UN. So congratulations, Pakistan. Congratulations, Telenor. This shows that technology in the sustainable development area really works. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, Evo Foods. This is Asia's first vegan liquid egg substitute. Using crops that are common in India, Evo Foods developed a liquid egg substitute with a taste and a texture resembling that of eggs laid by chickens. Eggs are one of the country's most prevalent animal-based food, and so to combat greenhouse emissions and animal welfare issues associated with industrial egg production, Evo Foods created a protein-rich alternative, very healthy. The product was sold out within an hour during a preview and is now being served in a lot of restaurants in Mumbai, with direct-to-consumer sales to begin soon after. So can you imagine, you might not need chickens to lay eggs, to have your eggs for breakfast in the morning, or eggs for your kids. Evo Foods, what do you think of that idea? Is that an idea worth spreading? Let's go to the next slide. Of course, climate crisis is affecting everybody, and IKEA, the huge global furniture wholesaler and retailer, has come up with an incredible idea. They are merging wellness in the home right into IKEA's furniture in a move to improve and adapt to changing lifestyles. So this product is called the Stark Vind, due to be released in October this year, integrates an air purifier into a side table. The multifunctional product works with a three-filtered design, one to capture larger particles, the second to capture 99.5% of dust and pollen, with a third filter working to suck up pollutants in the form of gases such as formaldehyde from the plywood. And the product contains a dial with a 5-strength level and can be integrated into IKEA apps so that you can then govern this on your mobile phone. Prices start around $189, and it's just interesting. Who would have thought that you can have wellness and climate crisis control built directly into your furniture? Is that a thumbs up or is that a thumbs down? We think IKEA have got a thumbs up for the climate crisis. Let's go to the next slide. Humdum. Now here's an interesting one. I don't know how this would work in Pakistan, but Humdum is a state-sanctioned dating app for Muslims in Iran. The app was created by the Tebyan Cultural Institute, part of Iran's Islamic propaganda organization, with the mission of finding wives for bachelors seeking permanent marriage and a single spouse. In order to join the platform, if you are single, you must undertake a psychological test, and once a match is made, the pair's families are introduced by one of Humdum's service consultants, who then monitor the relationship for 4 years after the marriage. Now, I know many people in Pakistan are very independent. They don't want to have someone monitoring their marriage or their relationship, but this is just an interesting way in which Iran, and particularly in terms of Islamic dating, have come up with a new idea. What do you think of this idea? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let's go to the next one. Okay, Honda. Honda, obviously, people, when you think of Honda, you think of cars, you think of Honda electric cars. Honda is creating a special navigation system for inside your shoes to help people with blindness or low vision. The GPS device, which is called the Ashtrays, ASHTRASE, comprises two square-shaped units which can be physically attached to the user's shoes and wirelessly connected to your mobile phone. The device was just announced in June and is expected to launch in March 2023 by Honda. Who would have thought that Honda, that makes cars and generators and electronic goods, is creating a special GPS device for people who are blind or with low vision? Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, here's an interesting one that might have some impact in Pakistan, where people are desperate to have a sustained and consistent food supply. A couple of months ago, a company in Japan saw agricultural asset management, Hosachiguru, rewrite the plot. It's a community farm management system set over two 100-acre plots, and it's actually taking place in Bangalore in India. And people in cities invest in these farm plots, and Hosachiguru helps to develop and manage the land based on the principles of permaculture, eventually rendering the food forest self-sufficient. Investors in this choose their crops, and Hosachiguru sends harvested vegetables to owners on a weekly basis. Owners can build their own farmhouse or choose to stay at the farm's retreat, which provides family-friendly activities. But imagine if you're living in crowded Karachi or Peshawar or Quetta, or if you're in Rawalpindi, here is an opportunity for you to have a share in growing fruit and vegetables that can sustain you and your family. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yas Creative Hub. Where is Yas Creative Hub? This is in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, and it's part of the UAE, the Emirates, bid to be the media and entertainment heart of the Middle East. Abu Dhabi is developing the Yas Creative Hub. There's a picture of the building. And when complete, this venue will host over 600 companies and 16,000 creative professionals across multiple industries. And the Yas aim is to create a collaboration space for companies in sectors such as content creation, broadcast media, and advertising, with companies working together to create innovative Middle Eastern Arab language focused production. And this is scheduled to open in the fourth quarter of this year. Interesting idea. Time maybe for Pakistan to think of developing a special creative hub for the creative industries. Next slide, please. Here's a really interesting one. Those of you that wear glasses, and there are many in Pakistan who do, but Voy glasses, this is interesting. This is called the Voy Cador tunable glasses. You can tune your glasses. And listen to this. They can be adjusted for near or distant vision by turning a hidden tuning wheel located in the arm on the side of your glasses. Turning the wheel away from the nose creates more negative power. Turning it towards the nose creates more positive power. Originally developed for people who need multiple pairs of reading glasses and seeing glasses, this US-based company Voy, V-O-Y, claims that this is the first design suitable for anyone experiencing frequent changes in eyesight. So you can imagine if your grandmother or your mother and father are having difficulty and have to always put on reading glasses and take them off, here's something that hopefully can help them a lot. And the first iteration was launched in 2020. In August, Voy raised just $145,000 on Indiegogo to bring the product to market. And a pair of glasses will now today cost around $200, although backers could get them at a reduced price of $109. What do you think of Voy? Is this good? We think it might improve your vision, your insight, and maybe your view of the future. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, now here's something interesting, and the reason I'm showing this picture of a Japanese chef using a special cooking pot is he's got a pot that's made out of graphite. So the company is called Anna Ori Kakugama. And those of you who don't know, graphite is the wonder material that is being used for many developments now in the 21st century. It was invented, believe it or not, about 20 years ago in Manchester, in England. And this particular cooking tool is carved from a single block of carbon graphite. The material resists wear and acidity and minimizes cellular destruction within foods and helps keep taste and nutrients. It was developed with a chef, and you can steam, you can poach, you can grill, you can fry. And to celebrate the launch, the brand, Anaori Kakugama, invited 24 chefs to cook with the graphite for its global naturality tour. And prices for this cooking tool are around about $2,000. So it's expensive, but graphite is an incredible material. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, here's something I wanted to show you how the COVID pandemic has really brought some incredible heroes into all over the world, people that you would never have thought would have helped save the community, save the cities, save the country. And this gentleman you see here for this campaign called Aerial India unveiled a campaign capturing everyday pandemic heroes. The detergent brand Ariel, I'm sure you're familiar with Ariel, the brand, the cleaning product. They had a special campaign called Change the Cycle. It was a spot celebrating individuals who had performed extraordinary feats during the country's second wave of COVID, including this gentleman, 74-year-old Desraj Singh, who took COVID patients, frontline workers to hospital, and opened a multi-utility. A woman by the name of Daulat Khan opened a store for helping her community for everyday essentials, and they then delivered oxygen cylinders, they delivered food, and Sharat Verma, who's the chief marketing officer of Procter & Gamble in the Indian subcontinent and vice president of fabric care for Procter & Gamble, said, "At Ariel, we believe that progress is impossible without change, and each of us has the power to make a difference. We salute these ordinary citizens for their extraordinary contribution to society." And you know, and we know, and Mohammed and knows about the many, many heroes in Pakistan that really helped in terms of COVID. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Here's an interesting one. This is something that is unique, and maybe this is a good idea for Karachi or for Islamabad. While some governments are developing apps to fast-track business applications, this company called Las Condes opted to provide workspace. Residents can buy time by donating services to the city's bartering system, which runs on hours instead of money. So if you do something beneficial for Islamabad or for Karachi, you can you use your hours and you get benefits. This municipal government installed 20 cabins as safe working spaces for small businesses, and each cabin features air conditioning, Wi-Fi, UVC sanitizer lights, and ergonomic desks and chairs, and the spaces can be booked online, and residents can use the cabins free of charge for 40 hours a month if you do something to help the running or the management or the cleaning of your city. Interesting idea, social responsibility in a post-COVID, build back better environment. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, there's a little baby drinking milk, but you know what? That isn't mother's breast milk. This is a product called BioMilk, B-I-O-M-I-L-Q, as you can see on the slide. And it announced just recently, just a month ago, that it had created a cell-cultured human milk from mammary cells outside of the mother's breast. The profile matches the compounds that are found in breast milk, and a company called Turtle Tree plans to commercialize cultured human lactoferrin, which is really the main constituents of breast milk, as the food tech's first major product. So isn't this amazing? All those mothers that struggle with feeding their new babies, here is a product that will save a lot of time and effort, where milk will be available as bio milk. Okay, let's go to the final slide, and we'll go to a company started by Jeff Bezos, now the wealthiest man in the world. And this is the Amazon salon. Now, why am I showing you a picture of a hair salon in London? It's a business that people are not really aware that Amazon has started, although they've started supermarkets where you can go and buy in the supermarket, and there are no cash registers. Everything is done by just picking up the barcodes and putting the bill onto your phone. But the reason I'm showing you this, and I don't know, Ravia, if you're interested in an Amazon salon like this, but this is a special salon that allows customers to experiment with augmented reality, virtual hair colors, and then you can enjoy what you see on a tablet, an iPad, and to share your looks on social media from a dedicated area. Customers will be able to scan QR codes for hair products and buy them through Amazon. But the store is staffed by hairdressers, and this is an interesting way in which a hairdresser can use augmented reality, and this is opened up in London, and who knows whether this might open up in Pakistan. Okay, let's go to the next slide. We're just about coming to the end of what we are doing, but here's an interesting thing. We know that there's an interesting gentleman in Pakistan by the name of Amer Hashmi, and Amer is heading up the Special Technology Zones Authority. We know the government is very keen to be able to develop this. After all, Pakistan is the world's third largest gig economy globally after India and Bangladesh. And Pakistan is now banking on these new tech zones to create employment for its masses of young people, nearly 2/3 of the population below the age of 30. And we hope that Hashmi, who told the Prime Minister, Imran Khan, that South Asia and Pakistan lacked a tech ecosystem for enabling the environment. So now I'm pleased to say that not only is this tech zone going to help develop things, but also just this last month, we were pleased to hear that Pakistan had been added into Amazon's sellers list. And due to the impressive growth, the Pakistan Stock Exchange earned the title of being the best Asian stock market and the fourth best performing market across the world in 2020. So I hope this has given you some ideas of some things that are coming next. I'd like to say a big shukriya to Mohammed and to Ravia and to everybody at the leaders in Islamabad. Hopefully one day I'll be able to come and see you all in person, but in the meantime, Mohammed, thank you so much for inviting me. I will now go off into the center of London to try and see if I can find some new companies to invest in.
Well, thank you very much. That was not only enlightening, but I'm really impressed with your Urdu, number one. Number two, the amount of research that you've done, and the number three, the tips that you've given me personally about the hair salons and other things. So thank you very much. It would be a pleasure to meet you soon in person, and hopefully we'll be able to have you over to Islamabad in good time once this threat is over. Over to Asfa now.
Thank you, Rolf, again, and you're always very kind, very generous, and I wish you good luck for your other ventures as well. And now we are starting inviting our second speaker of this session. One is Ralph Simon, and second is Nick van Breda from Netherlands. So one is from London, second is from Netherlands.